Alright, so we've talked quite a lot about this new game mode, Cryptic Notes. There have been some ups and downs in this mode, but so far, I guess everyone has gotten a good grasp of it. So, I think the basic guide series that I made will end here. Nevertheless, there are still some things left that people might want to know, such as the hunter in this mode, the next story, and other things related to it. Much of this information has apparently already been covered during the last IDV livestream, as well as by a news Twitter account called IDV Logic. But I think it won't hurt to echo the information here, so that's what I'm going to do today. Repeat some of the existing information and hopefully reach a wider community. Also, please note that some of the info here will also contains my speculation, so please don't treat everything here as an actual fact. I'll make sure to mention which part of my speculation though. In the last IDV livestream, the devs said that Cryptic Notes is a game mode that they pour their hearts into, and that they don't want it to be a flash in the pan. In other words, they don't want this game mode to become quite popular, only to die shortly after. With that in mind, the devs plan to keep updating the game mode periodically, adding more new stuff into it, such as new maps, new mechanics, new weapons, new anomalies, and so on. The fact that this mode has its own separate season from the main game already says a lot, to be honest. Not to mention, there are skins that can only be obtained through this game mode. Perhaps next time we will also have crossovers exclusively for this game mode? I can't say for sure. Time will tell, I guess. The current season we are having for Cryptic Notes is called Season 0, and it will last until October 28th, 2026. During this period, the main setting for this mode is the book called The Bringer of Doom. If you look at the menu, there are 3 parts to the story, but we have only played the first part so far. Perhaps this means that Season 0 will be separated into 3 parts. Like how a season is separated into 3 essences in the main game mode, I guess. The 3 parts of a story, in my humble opinion, will reveal the true story behind this book, The Bringer of Doom. I recently covered the story of the first part, and I honestly can't wait for the next parts to be uncovered. When Season 0 ends on October 28th, the new season will begin. I can't really tell for sure whether the new season will bring us a new map or a completely new game setting, but judging by how Season 0 revolves around a book called The Bringer of Doom, I sincerely hope that the new season will give us a completely new story. Like, another story that isn't The Bringer of Doom. I really hope that every season will have its own unique storyline. And if we look into the game mode's backstory, it seems that the devs plan to do that as well. There are several works from Orpheus that are mentioned in the backstory, such as The Thawing Snowland and Flower of Sin. Perhaps those novels will become the next settings for the story? In line with that information, the devs also mentioned that they will cover the essence stories from the main game mode through the Cryptic Notes storyline as well. That means we might finally get the whole picture of the essence stories from the main game mode through this Cryptic Notes mode. The Twitter account IDV Logic has also predicted how the other stories might go, as you can see in one of their posts. So, based on all this information, perhaps we can get some new things, like new monsters, new maps, and new items. I sincerely hope it turns out that way, because with a new story, we won't be playing The Bringer of Doom forever after all. So, this is probably the most asked question about this mode right now. When will the hunter become available? It is quite sad, but we don't really have any exact information about that, at least not right now. But thankfully, I can share some ideas on why the hunter isn't available yet and how the hunter might work in this game mode. First question, why? Why hasn't the hunter been added to this mode yet? According to the devs, it is because they need more time to balance and develop the hunters so they can be adjusted properly for this mode. Since when you play as the hunter in Cryptic Notes, you will be playing solo rather than as part of a team, the hunter's stats and strength will be significantly boosted to compensate for that. The devs need more time to adjust everything, and that's why the hunter hasn't been available in this mode yet. In addition to that, not all hunters will be directly available in this mode because of this mechanism. The devs, however, said that they will work on it so that every character will eventually be available in this mode. Second question, how will the hunter play out in this mode? If we look at the gameplay teaser, it seems that the hunter's role in the game is basically the same as the survivors in this mode. Enter the manor, loot treasures, defeat anomalies, and so on. Though, I also wonder if playing as the hunter will give us a different point of view when seeing the story. It would be interesting if that's the case. Unlike the survivor side, playing as the hunter will not allow you to team up with others. This piece of information was confirmed by the devs during their latest livestream. And since they said that they need to adjust the hunter's strength to fit cryptic notes, would hunters be able to use their skills and abilities just like the hunters in the main game? I can't say for sure, but since the devs said they are still working on it, perhaps the mechanics will work something like that. So far, this mode has been quite refreshing for me, because after 6 years of playing the same thing over and over again, I started to feel bored, even with new events or characters being released every season. This additional mode, or maybe DLC, if I may say, makes the whole game feel more varied. Not to mention, the devs really nailed the creepy horror atmosphere in this mode. It makes those who wanted a horror game feel like the game has finally returned to its horror roots. It does, however, get boring after a while. In my opinion, after a month or two, people who play this game mode casually might find it boring as well, because by then, players might have already discovered the easiest ways to beat the game. Even now, barely 2 weeks after the mode's release, many people already know how to deal with many of the anomalies in the game. Unlike playing against real players who can develop their own strategies, the bots follow patterns programmed into them, so they can't really adapt to every new strategy invented by players. The story does make some people stay, especially lore addicts who want to understand the main story better, but I don't think players who only want to play casually without caring about the story will find the mode interesting forever. In my eyes, the player's main goal in this game mode, which is to find the cursed diamond, remains the biggest motivation for people playing this mode. But once they find it, it can feel like there is nothing keeping them there anymore. The rank and gacha systems might keep them around for a while, though. Therefore, something is needed to keep players coming back, and that's where the idea of new storylines, new maps, new monsters, and so on comes in. Hopefully, with their statement about putting their hearts into this game mode, the devs can deliver something that allows cryptic notes to stay for a long time. I'm not sure if the devs will even watch this video or hear my thoughts, but simply wishing for this outcome already makes me feel better, so I'm happy either way. At the very least, that's all I can share about cryptic notes. Thanks a lot to everyone who stayed with me from the very beginning of this guide until this moment. I'll definitely still make some videos related to cryptic notes, but the guide ends here. Thanks again for watching, and I wish you all a good day.